This week, I wanted to address a lot of the bullshit that's been going on with the right wing. Like, you have the Trump crap. You have Irini's final termination.
Yeah.
I want to first off, 4 months, it was around April 2015. Anita Sarkeesian put out this video of a review of Sword of Sorcery. I just beat Sword of Sorcery last night. And I was thinking about we do an opinion piece of reacting kind of like to TJ's The Amazing Atheist video, reviewing Anita's video, also reviewing Sword of Sorcery.
Okay, but it's going to be mainly you doing stuff because I've never played that game, so I don't.
You'll see the video. The video is interesting in some context of what. Let me just pull it up here.
Cool.
And mute this. Screen share. Present everything. Okay, here we go.
It's already good. Before it started, it's already good.
No, there's a few settings you have to fuck around with to get it actually really to work well to sync. Okay, here we go.
Anita Sarkeesian, it's me, your biggest fan, the Amazing Atheist.
No,
my little video.
You're not.
1 second, let me just fix the bandwidth. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, dude. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just because the bandwidth was just a little jerky, so let me just change the settings. Cancel.
Okay. Well, basically, the point I was making was that TJ isn't her biggest fan, just one of the biggest leeches financially from this situation, along with Thunderfoot and Sargon and the rest of them.
To you.
Yeah.
Notorious Tumblr feminist poster child Anita Sarkeesian has recently released a new video entitled The Scythian Positive Female Characters in Video Games. And if you read the description, she calls it the debut episode of our series on positive female characters. So this is the first in a new series.
Honestly, with the hesitance of, because, okay, so Anita started 2 series she didn't finish. So I think it will be a lot easier to do the historical series because video games right now are really just, they're not good production-wise these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the whole point I have with Anita, I don't get it. Like, what? Who gives a fuck? Why does she inspire such hatred of these people?
I don't know. I really don't get it. It's almost the same banter of the hatred for Hillary Clinton too, on the same weird, ironic level.
Yeah. Sorry.
You good?
My music files opened up. Sorry, yeah, go on. Yeah.
Easy in videos. You could probably expect the second part to come out around December of 2018. Here's an idea, Anita. Maybe you should finish the Tropes versus Women in Video Games series that you started back in June of 2012. You know, the one that you raised.
This is fucking amazing. Coming from the guy who's had money to start how many fucking websites and produced virtually nothing.
Actually,
yeah, he's gonna have a go at someone else for not completing projects.
I've been on YouTube long enough. Free speech vids did go on for a while. It was on for 4 months before some hacker from I don't know where to shut it down.
Yeah, but that's the point. He doesn't complete his projects properly, and yet he's gonna have a go at someone else for doing that as well. So, fuck you, TJ, you hypocrite.
I don't know. You're kind of going on a Brett Keane riff with the give back the money, TJ, for people you've took on the failed websites.
Well, yeah, but just because it's Brett Keane doesn't mean everything he says is wrong.
It's true. Yeah, that is a valid point.
$58,922 for? You would think that 2 years and a budget larger than most independent films
which is interesting. I really looked into like the Anita Sarkeesian kind of like tax returns bullshit. It doesn't seem fraudulent. It just seems like bad bureaucracy.
Well, there's a thing, isn't there? There was a study done, quite interestingly, about the more oversubscribed a Kickstarter project is, the more over schedule it goes generally. Because they tend to increase the scope of the project enormously based on the fact that they've got more money to do so. So it takes a hell of a lot longer to do.
You do get my point. Like because of how much money she made, like overnight, the level of bureaucracy to file such tax returns and also to register for such organization and corporation forms will be just ridiculous.
Well, but someone made a very good point in the week about the Sarkeesian effect, the documentary that was made by the Jordan Owen and David Zulreini about this. That whereas Feminist Frequency releases its information to the public and says this is how the money gets spent. Have we seen any of those fucking returns from the Sarkeesian effect? Do we know where they spent? Because it certainly didn't go on fucking production value, did it?
No, it did not.
Would yield quick results from an experienced YouTube video maker like Anita Sarkeesian. But you would be wrong. Here's the complete list of videos that you raised money for, Anita. Damsel in Distress, Video 1. The Fighting Fuck Toy, Video 2. The Sexy Sidekick, Video 3. The Sexy Villainess, Video 4. Background Decoration, Video 5. Voodoo Priestess / Tribal Sorceress, Video 6. Women as Reward, Video 7. Mrs. Male Character, Video 8. Unattractive equals Evil, Video 9.
Right. Why is he reading out this list? I mean, you could be generous and say he's doing it for, say, blind people, but I don't think TJ gives a fuck. What, he's just filling in time here?
Pretty much. Well,
we can fucking see.
I want to address that the fact is a lot of people claim she's never finished the series. When you actually look at the context of her video, a lot of the titles of what she covers is in the videos just by different titles, names.
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, it would have been, I think it possibly would have been worth her, just for clarity, to point that out to people and say essentially, you know, say like video X is being amalgamated into one video with video Y as well, or something like that.
This is well, I also don't like.
I mean, it might be nitpicking, yes, that, but whatever.
No, but also with like I work in a lot of like kind of like production stuff with like underground film stuff in the city, and like a lot of his stuff is like rough draft, just note points. A lot of these bullet points don't actually become final project.
Yeah. And not just that, but when she was asking for $6,000, she probably didn't think she'd get this level of fucking ridiculous scrutiny.
I know, it's ugh.
Video 10. And hey, I resent that. I happen to be a man with big, juicy, delicious breasts. Are you?
I would go with that description apart from the word delicious, but yeah.
Anita, I would hate to think that you were disparaging me, Anita. Positive female characters, Video 11. Okay, so you made Damsel in Distress. That was a 3-parter. Then you made Mrs. Male Character. You only needed 1 video for that one. And then you made Women as Background Decoration. So in 2 years, you have completed 3 of the 12 videos that you set out to make. At that rate, you will be done with the Tropes in Video Game series by 2021. Started in 2012, completed in 2021.
Well, hang on a minute, hang on. Whoa. He's reacting to a video called Positive Female Characters, right?
Yeah.
So why has he put that as not done then?
I don't know.
That's I don't know, what's the politically correct term? Educationally subnormal? Would you describe that as? That's ridiculous.
I would, yeah.
12 videos for which you were given $160,000.
I have to admit, for the rhetoric that TJ presents, the actual production of this video is quite good.
Yeah.
How your fans, Anita, can tolerate this level of sluggishness, I have no idea. There's absolutely no reason that it should have taken you this long. These videos, each of them looks like they represent...
Yeah. You were saying?
Sorry, it lagged lost it there. I missed that last sentence.
Oh, he said, how is it possible that Anita gets all this support, but yet can't finish her own series on time?
Yeah.
Basically, when it takes me a day to make a video I want to make.
Yeah, that's because your videos aren't researched, TJ. You don't do any fucking research for shit. But never mind.
Yeah, whatever.
Out a week's worth of effort, and there's frankly nothing else that you should be doing other than making those videos and fulfilling what people paid you to do. But I guess that if you're...
I love all this fake outrage. Like, they give two fucks about the people's money. Like, as if they give two fucks about the people getting what they wanted. They don't want her to complete it, and because then they'd have nothing to fucking moan about.
Exactly, that's my point. Well, that's also a lot of people's points, but like at this point, it's just getting old and sad. At this point, it's like Johnny One now and everything she does.
Yeah, exactly. Like I made my thing, didn't I? The video before last about that Anita Sarkeesian hate train rolls on, where you can just you can tell the same characters are going to make the same points in the same video in response to anything she does. Any video that gets released, you know, within 24 hours, the clickbait trash will be out there. And TJ very much being a part of that crowd.
I don't mind. Oh, and by the way, Anita's excuse is the painstaking amount of research that she puts into her videos. But anyone who has actually evaluated her videos critically can see that most of her research comes right out of her ass.
A lot of yours is true. A lot of TJ's your research also. Like the whole thing of PIV is always rape. Ugh, that video which Captain Andy just commented on, a lot of people did, and there are others I can go on to. I don't really have it off the top of my head, but you get my point, Kevin.
It's almost. I mean, I don't agree with Sargon's law generally, but I would invoke it here. I think he's projecting his own research inadequacies onto others.
Exactly.
But whatever. Let's talk about Anita's new video series where she actually talks about positive female video game characters. And I have to admit that I, probably like some of you, are completely shocked. Because I had always assumed that Anita had some impossible standard. An example I often give people is that Anita criticizes old Lara Croft because look at those big tits. Obviously, she's just fat material for fanboys. But then, in the newer Tomb Raider games, when they made her breasts smaller, Anita said, oh, well, that's just because they're trying to masculinize her.
That I actually looked into that statement. A lot of people carry on about that. Was complete fabrication. She never said anything like that on Twitter, ever.
Oh, okay. That's the first I'd heard of it, to be honest.
So, a lot of people, myself included, say to that sort of thing, there's no pleasing this woman. She's obviously determined to find sexism everywhere. I severely doubt that there is any portrayal of a female video game character possible that would please Anita Sarkeesian. But I'm a big man. I can admit when I'm wrong. And in this case, apparently I was wrong. There are female video game characters that Anita Sarkeesian approves of. Holy shit! So the character that Anita chose is the Scythian from a game called Swords and Sorcery, or is that Sworcery? I've never played the game, and I'm not really familiar with its female protagonist. You could call this thing male, female, or alien. It's totally nondescript. Even Anita agrees.
In fact, the level of detail is so low in our pixelated protagonist, and our tendency to assume that heroes are male by default is so widely reinforced, that some players have made the mistake of assuming the Scythian is male.
And look, from what I understand, this is actually supposed to be a pretty fucking solid game. I've heard that it's good. I'm sure that it is good. And in fact, when I was watching Anita Sarkeesian's video, I thought to myself, that game looks pretty interesting. I might even play that myself at some point.
You know, on a side note, they recently stated on some comic convention, I forget where in the country, they're thinking of turning that game into a film.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they might have to put a little bit more detail into the character.
I know, exactly.
I have to be critical of this character's design. Frankly, I just don't know what the fuck I'm looking at here. And I understand it's supposed to be old school graphics. It's a throwback to the 8-bit era. But look at Super Mario compared to this shit. You look at Mario, he's made of the same giant pixely blocks that Scythian is, but you can tell that he's a fat fuck wearing red overalls with a red hat and a big bush.
Well, yeah, but hang on a minute. You can tell basically that it's a female, or that there are a couple of signifiers. One, the long hair, the long black hair, right, which is generally signifying of a woman, and the fact that she's wearing a skirt.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right?
Or
Yeah, so, I mean...
It could be a kilt because the game takes place in Scotland. Like in the...
Well, it could be, yes, but I think there are clues to the fact that she's a female.
Yeah, I get your point.
Stash. Well, you know what? Whatever. I'm nitpicking. I'm sure that Anita did not pick this character for her amazing design, which I'm sure is supposed to be stylized anyway. I'm sure that Anita chose this character because she's so rich and well-developed with an amazing backstory.
It's not just in the visual sense that the Scythian lacks clear definition. We know very little about her history and nothing about why she's undertaken the quest to defeat an ancient evil. Like many video game heroes, the Scythian is essentially a silent protagonist, a figure defined primarily by her actions, which makes her a blank slate for all players to project themselves onto.
Okay, so Anita's ideal female character has no fucking backstory.
Well, hang on. Whoa. She didn't say ideal. She said positive.
She said positive. Yeah, exactly. That's a what.
So why is he now saying ideal? Oh yeah, because he's a propagandist dick.
Exactly.
No character development, and by Anita's own admission, is just a blank slate. This is her fucking ideal, feminist-approved female character. A character.
No, TJ, no. It's not female, and it's not feminist-approved. You twat. Like, this is what they do. They say, oh, it's feminist-approved. No, it's one feminist's idea. That's it.
Pretty much.
Character traits, or the fewest amount of character traits possible. Holy shit! Anita! Can I just say something to you? You suck at being a feminist. You're really fucking awful at it. Does this mean...
Hang on, how? How is that then? Because surely the point is, I like the idea that you should have a more well-rounded and defined character. But if she's saying she finds it a positive female character because it doesn't have to be defined in ways that are traditionally female, and essentially allows the person to imbue their own version of female femininity to it, then surely that's not a problem. And why does that mean she looks at being a feminist? Especially when TJ's idea of a feminist is a straw man to begin with.
Well, when you look into the game, like, there's a lot of fan art, varies all over the place, from like drastically anime versus cartoon versus like actual like medieval Celtic paintings of this character. So there's the actual fan art is all over the place with the character.
Yeah, well, that's the whole idea, isn't it? To break down those sorts of gender norms.
Exactly.
Well, I don't see there's a problem.
Ideal female character, the penultimate female protagonist of a game, would just be a beige block, vaguely identified as female, that just moves from one side of the screen to the other.
Isn't it what basically Pong is in a certain level?
Yeah. Isn't that? Don't they call that? Don't they call it something like the argumentum ad absurdum or something?
Yeah.
Where you take it, you take.
Yeah, it's called.
Yeah, you take like a tiny little nitpicking problem and then transport it into this absurd nth degree, and it's ridiculous. That's not what she said. That's I don't think what she believes. But
which is
but
weird. Which is
clickbait trash again.
Which is weird because the absurdist that fallacy, the absurdist fallacy, was originally a target used by very left-wing radicals in the '60s.
Yeah.
Which I just find it interesting how the tables have turned on the idea of who's using it now.
Yeah.
Woo! I don't know about you guys, but I'll take Bayonetta or Samus or Lara Croft over this mindless Scythian bitch any day. Those characters.
Mindless. Whoa. When did mindless become a part of that?
I don't know. It's because he's projecting mindless because the character has defined traits of like actual persona or like carved out CGI graphics that you can latch onto.
Yeah, because he's a simpleton who doesn't have the imagination enough to put something into it.
Exactly, pretty much, or whatever.
Actually attractive, yes, but
I want to see this. I hate Bayonetta of the game. I really do.
I've never played it.
they're not just eye candy. They have personalities, strengths and weaknesses, defined feelings, actual backstories. And you know what? I can relate to them. Not because they're a blank slate that I can just impose my own ego onto, but because they're richly developed fucking characters that actually feel real to me. And you know, the sad thing is that Anita Sarkeesian would probably label those characters fighting fuck toys.
Not necessarily, because she just labeled Tomb Raiders as a positive female trope or a positive female character in her last review.
Yeah, but that would be adding a level of nuance that TJ isn't capable of.
Exactly.
Why? Because they committed the egregious sin of being sexually attractive. Oh, setting women back billions and billions of years. Oh, the humanity. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, oh, the hue femininity.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Anita Sarkeesian's ideal female
No, it was not ideal. It was what was the word she used again?
Positive.
Positive, yeah. Okay.
No history, no clear motive, no defining character traits. They're just a blank slate that Anita can impose her own self onto. Wow! That's no one's idea of a good character, Anita. You think you're a fucking critic? You think that you have any business telling people what sort of art they should be creating when your ideal is basically just a fucking Mary Sue? You're the worst feminist ever! I, the amazing atheist, am 10 times the feminist that Anita Sarkeesian is.
No,
Well,
you're 10 times the body mass, but not necessarily 10 times the feminine.
well, he did do that fundraiser this week, and he got like trillions of dollars.
True, but the problem is, and the reason I'm more than happy to give money to the cause, but the reason I can't sort of get behind it is the spite in the people who are actually helping women, because he's not doing it with decency in his heart. Yeah. He's doing it with malice. And
I get your point. It's kind of like what Sargon did with Steve Shives in a weird way.
Yeah.
Give a shit about a female character's personality, about their backstory, what makes them laugh, what makes them cry, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. The basics of fucking character writing. Character writing. What?
You know, the problem with the game is the game's not supposed to be a character. It's supposed to be like a mythical legend, like almost like whispers, like a fable, kind of like.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you get my, okay? So like with actual like a story that's like clear cut. This is X, Y, and Z drawn out, drafted is much more different. Like it's more like a novel than an actual mythical fable, like ancient war.
You broke up there.
What I'm saying?
You broke up there. You
Yes,
went robotic.
Oh, I'm saying. Am I better now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying the game is like a game that's made from like A to like X, Y, and Z is much more like concrete, like drawn out, drafted, like a novel. It's much more different than like a game that's like a fable, like a myth, like it's spoken in whispers, kind of like.
Yeah.
And the game was actually trying to portray like a story, like a legend drawn out in whispers. It's like an ancient fable, like a folklore. So just clear, concrete context what the game is about, and what the game's not trying to be.
Yeah, but again, that would be adding a level of nuance that TJ is incapable.
No, it's we have 30 more seconds of this garbage.
You fucking won, and you fail, Anita. You fucking fail. Have a nice day. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out.
Okay, so we're done with that one, and I have a few others I want to address this week that went down of ridiculousness.
Cool.
Let me just get it up here. Did you see the guy who was trolling me and Dick Hoffman on Twitter with the ridiculousness?
I didn't know.
Well, me and Coughlin were pretty much the first people on YouTube within the feminist quote-unquote circle to make fun of Irini's final termination. So this guy, like the minute it was uploaded, was in my comment section fucking about being a dick.
But he's not, that's the thing. He's back now, isn't he?
Yeah, Irini's back from his final termination. So this guy, I was going for his channel. It has 45 views, but it's fucking hysterical. I was dying from the first 5 minutes into it.
Go on then. Let's have a look.
Present to everyone. Track down.
Oh wow, it's his cousin or something, is it?
Yeah, except this guy's British.
Oh fuck.
Sargon of Akkad, you're a fucking knob jockey.
That's the greatest opening line to a video in the history of mankind. Sargon of Akkad, you're a knob jockey. That's fucking genius.
Oh, I love it. I love necessarily the fact that his symbol is pretty much an anarcho-feminist logo, a black and purple and blue triangle.
Well, I dare say he wouldn't recognise it as such.
I know.
I don't know him, but from that first sentence, I imagine he's stupid as fuck. It's called. Hang on, the video is called "Breaking Benjamin, Carl the Cuck," and then in brackets, Sargon of Akkad. That's genius.
I actually like the band Breaking Benjamin, so that's why I downloaded this video to view a review.
In this video, I will be rambling on about two different subjects that are tangentially related to one another. The first of these is Carl the Cuck Benjamin.
Lovely. And I love his delivery style. Could he be any more fucking boring? Really, could he have chosen any more a boring style than it? Carl the Cuck Benjamin.
I like how all the
I'm going to be.
I like how all the POAs think this shit is actually attractive to look at. This look that they have presented, a shaved head and a disgustingly tacky suit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it would look much better without the suit jacket thing. Like, just the shirt and the tie would be cool, but it just looks ridiculous.
Yep.
My favourite one is Aurini's pirate sailor leather sleeveless jacket thing.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
that is great.
Of Akkad. During a recent live stream conversation with Secular Talk, Sargon of Akkad came out in support of state ownership of utility companies, a position also shared by the recently elected leader of the British Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, or as I like to refer to him as #Jeremy Corbyn Laden. In reference,
That's quite good. I was expecting him to go Jeremy Cookbin or something like that, but
Yeah,
Jeremy Corbyn Laden.
I only viewed the part with the opening line and the intro music. I downloaded and I have not seen the rest of the video, so I don't know where he's going with things.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Bearded terrorists of both Irish Republican and Islamic variety.
What?
In recent history,
I know where he's going with this. I know where he's. I have a theory, but I don't want to say where it's going. I want to.
Well, it's
yeah.
It's given that he thinks that Jeremy Corbyn is in league with Islamic terrorists or something. I know it's going to a mental place. I have no idea, but it's going somewhere crazy. Definitely.
I have a weird suspicion that it's going to involve. He's going to say at one point Hamas in this video. I have a weird suspicion.
Well, we'll see.
Late and unlamented president of Venezuela introduced state control of Venezuelan utility companies with predictably disastrous effects, namely blackouts. And if both Sargon and Corbyn Laden had their way, Britain would be back to the 3-day week. This brings me to the second subject, which is Britain's utility industry, namely the energy companies. In theory, Britain has a free market in the energy sector.
Go on.
In reality, with regards both energy and water, there exists a cozy corporatist consensus. In the energy sector, there are 6 energy companies that are perfectly content not to rock the boat with each other and charge customers through the nose for energy.
Okay, go on.
Well then, I tell you what we should do. We should highly regulate the cunts. Hey, is that what you're suggesting, Mr. I presume ANCAP?
Yeah, exactly.
What makes this situation worse is that a number of these companies are actually owned by foreign governments, either in whole or in part. EDF is a company owned by the French government. The Russian state energy giant Gaz.
No. Not quite. The French government own a very much a minority stake in that company.
Yeah,
so it's not owned by French.
It's kind of like the same bullshit with the right wing in Italy, where they go on fucking about like when Berlusconi went bankrupt, how he sold all his stuff to Putin. It was only like 45% of his stuff, and the other 2% went over to the Gaddafi family, which has now been seized by France. So it's like it's just conspiratorial garbage.
Has a stake in British Gas, and thanks to David Cutran.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Nothing pleases these people. He's the most right-wing prime minister in the post-war era, and he's called David Cock.
The Chinese government was
Look at his fucking eyes that are like just like darting all over the place.
be rustling up some nuclear reactors at the expense of the British consumer. This is corporatism.
I love his evil laugh. It's like a rainy, like ho 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 ho.
Yeah.
Free market capitalism. So what's the solution? Well, there's only really one solution to this cozy consensus, where energy companies make a huge profit at the expense of...
Well, hang on. I genuinely am looking forward to hearing what his plan is, because state ownership isn't okay.
I haven't watched. I want to hear. I'm waiting for that.
Free marketism isn't okay. So this is third way, so to speak.
Oh, I know.
British consumer, and that is ban all state ownership of utility companies, whole and...
Hang on a minute. Whoa. Didn't he just say that the cosy corporatists
exactly.
of the free market were bad? So his idea of getting rid of the problems of the free market is to have a free market?
I guess.
What?
I know.
What a fucking mental case this guy is.
Ugh.
National and international. That is how you create a truly free market. That is how you bring down energy prices.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as creating a cartel. That doesn't exist clearly in his mind.
Exactly.
That's not possible. You know, that's what they're doing right now, you fucking idiot.
Oh my god.
Sargon has revealed his true colours. He is not a classical liberal. He is a Bolivarian Marxist.
That's genius. That was worth listening to that fucking ridiculously boring rant to hear he's a Bolivarian Marxist.
Oh, it's time for a little Martin Jihad Willis.
Oh yes.
This one I only watched
Everyone's favorite.
I only watched the first 30 seconds and it was golden. How ridiculous it was.
It's Martin J. Willett, of course it was ridiculous, yeah.
Is he like a big actual figure within not like figure on YouTube, but isn't he I heard somewhere like on Twitter that the guy's affiliated with news some newspaper
I don't think so. No,
no
one's heard of it.
Fringe newsletter. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, he might have a fringe newsletter, but he's no one. Look, if you ask the average person in the street, no one has heard of Martin J. Willett.
Yeah.
He's just a YouTube prick.
When it was normal to smoke, it was normal to smoke almost anywhere, everywhere. People used to smoke in shops. Shopkeepers would offer customers cigarettes. Now it is illegal to smoke in any shop, restaurant, or pub. Yes, pubs. There is no tobacco advertising anywhere. Not on Grand Prix cars, not in the cinema, and not even in the shops selling cigarettes. How did this happen? It didn't happen all at once. That is the key. It was a staged process.
What is that in the sky? Is that a UFO?
It's the sun. He put in some filter so it wouldn't blind him with the camera lens.
Oh, okay, I'm with you. But I'm still going with UFO.
Far they could push it, and they pitched it very well. They could have asked for an outright ban on cigarettes, but that wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have passed through Parliament, and it would not get the support of the people. But would you bet against cigarettes being banned outright now within the next decade? I wouldn't. Process of taking medium-sized steps, all in the same direction, then appearing to be contented for a moment before taking another medium-sized step, has worked wonders. Forget about whether you support...
I very much doubt anyone, just on the basis that it brings in a lot of money for the government. No one's going to get rid of cigarettes.
No way. They might tax the hell out of them, but they're not going to get rid of them.
Exactly, yeah.
Not. Just look at how the movement has achieved its aims. It has been a masterclass on how to get things done. This is how we need to reclaim our country. We need to smoke them out. We need to copy the tactics of the anti-smoking groups and to do the same sort of things against Islam as they did.
Yeah, we need to ban Islam in pubs. That's what we need to do, definitely.
I know. I stopped at this video, and this is what I just this is gonna be. When I was watching, I stopped here, downloaded it, Because
Well, exactly. But the beautiful thing is, right, the parallel is exact, because you used to go into, before the smoking ban, you used to go into shops and people would offer you Muslims. Definitely. The shop owners would definitely do that. You'd find Muslims everywhere. What we need to do is ban Muslims in public places. That's the exact thing, yeah, clearly.
Clearly.
Cigarette smokers used to think that they were accepted and even welcomed, that people actually wanted them to smoke inside their cinemas and pubs. Muslims used to think that we wanted Islam here and that we respected Islam. No, we were just too damn polite, just as we used to be about smokers. There was a time when if you went to somebody else's house, you could ask for an ashtray and expect to be given one, even in the home of non-smokers. Today, people would ask permission to smoke, even if their host was already smoking, which they almost certainly wouldn't be anyway. I remember the first changes, the first time when somebody said that they did mind if I smoked, and I thought it would be all right if I stood near the fireplace. How times have changed. I look forward to the day when Islam and Sharia and the sayings of the desert warlord prophet are treated with the same amount of respect as a smoker on a children's hospital asthma ward. This is what needs to happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just having Muslims in asthma wards will clearly affect the health of the people there. Martin, they're not the same fucking thing, mate. They're just not. You fucking idiot.
His videos, I was watching his videos a week ago. They're dreadful. All of them. Just all of them are.
They are appalling, yeah.
They're not even like fun. Like Iranians are funny. This guy's just dull.
Yeah.
Muslims in the West feel as welcome as they actually are, which is as welcome as a fart in a spacesuit.
But this is the thing. This is where he gives away his inherent racism. Because for most people, Muslims aren't that unwelcome.
I know.
They're just people.
Did you hear that line? It's as unwelcome as a fart in a spacesuit.
Genius. By which I mean he stole that off someone else.
Exactly.
He doesn't have the fucking capability to be that interesting or funny. He's stolen that.
He probably stole it from Jack and Glenn.
Probably. Yeah. Exactly. He's so unoriginal. He steals from Jacqueline Glenn.
Transforming the culture will take time, so we must start soon. We cannot let the leftists and the ecumenical Christians speak for all of us. They don't represent our views on anything. We don't want no-go zones in our towns and cities, where homosexuals get attacked, where women are not safe, and where people are intimidated if they are not Muslim.
Oh, yeah, because before the Muslims turned up, homosexuals were fine. Oh, no, sorry, no, that was illegal. Yeah. Conveniently forgetting the ugly parts of our history, eh, Martin?
And American history, that part too.
Want honor killings, arranged marriages to cousins, female genital mutilation, or male genital mutilation.
Oh, their MRA talking point.
Yeah.
Wives walking behind their husbands, segregated public spaces, or polygamy. Why? Not because we are bigots, but because they are bigots and barbaric.
I want to just point out the polygamy thing. There are a lot of American whites who believe in polygamy. A lot.
Yeah. The Mormons.
Mormons and also Jehovah's Witnesses. I've looked into like their fringe groups that believe in polygamy.
Oh, okay.
Our culture, not just different to theirs, it is superior, and it is time.
Also, I don't quite get. I know that polygamy is. I don't quite see why it should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like anyone's actually being hurt in that arrangement.
The reason it's illegal in the United States and a lot of states is because the idea of polygamy, they want to suppress it because a lot of polygamous ranches wind up, when they get too big, wind up getting into like militia groups, like sovereign citizen shit.
Okay.
So, like, I've looked into it. So, like, the U.S. government doesn't like polygamy because if a polygamous, like, community gets too big, they'll become a cult-like state against the state itself.
Okay, well, that makes sense, I suppose. But even so, it still shouldn't be. The act itself doesn't seem particularly harmful. But whatever. I mean, I get that it is illegal, but you know.
Not necessarily, because how do you explain polyamory? Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's complicated.
It is.
But it doesn't matter. To Martin J. Willett, it doesn't matter. The Muslims are doing it. It's bad.
Exactly.
There you go.
As a whole had the courage to say so. We need to turn the tide and stop letting the leftists and the ecumenical Christians and the rootless cosmopolitans of all ethnicities from speaking for us. We need to make being a Muslim in Britain uncomfortable, like it is to be a smoker in Britain. If they want to live a Muslim...
Yeah, exactly. We need to make life more difficult for the most despised group, or the most done down to group in the country, clearly. You fucking bigoted shit streak.
Child genital abusing polygamist.
I like how all the right wingers like to do with their video to fade out at the end of the video. It's like they all do that ridiculous, cheesy fade out.
Well, I wish they would fade out of society.
Yes, exactly. It's time for a little wandering cauldron action.
Oh, Chaper! Let's have him.
When we get the video, I've watched all his videos the last week, and this one by far is the creepiest and the most insane.
I haven't watched him in a while, to be honest, because there's only so much I can stomach of him before I feel like I want to smash the shit out of the fucking screen.
Let me get this up.
Come on, Bert.
Welcome to Chapin's Inferno, a wandering cauldron of politically incorrect commentary. I am sitting...
I really... do you see the hat he's wearing?
Duke Lacrosse.
Exactly. Just let it die already.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
On Twitter, and I'm about to post something, and I see the #1 trending thing is Mussolini. I said, what is this about? So I hit the link, or I hit the hashtag, I guess, and it says Trump on retweeting questionable quote. What difference does it make whether it's Mussolini? I thought, my gosh, this is a microcosm of what's going on in the United States right now. This is political correctness, okay? Because when you're a complete anti-intellectual and you...
Like you are?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh my God,
this I'm not saying...
He says, if you're behind him on the wall there, you can just see the words, these roads. That's from a book written by Davis M.J. Orini. And it's on his fucking wall.
I know, exactly. You know what's even weirder? I went to Barnes & Noble, and like that book is on their Barnes & Noble website. I went to Barnes & Noble. They had 2 copies of it on their shelf with like giant fuck yous written inside of the book, like the covering.
Terrorists.
Johnson sense of whatnot, his definition of it. I mean, when you don't want to use your mind, when everybody that thinks like you is always just going by association and little fringe detail,
like you do.
Yeah, like the alt-right. That's the base. If I had to define the alt-right, it would be precisely what he just said.
Exactly, it's projection.
And this and that. Then they can't think about anything. Then if you quote somebody, you are that somebody.
No, you're like fuck. You hang around neo-Nazi scum. You are a neo-Nazi scumbag. Like it's like ugh.
Yeah.
So if I say, yeah, I read what Roosh wrote. Roosh, he didn't say anything about raping people. This is a piece. It's a thought experiment. Try to say that. Then they say you are Roosh.
You fucking have him on your channel every other like month. Like ugh.
Yeah. And also, he did say about legalizing rape. That's precisely what he fucking said.
Exactly.
You read.
Why can't Roosh just fucking own up and just say, "Yeah, I said it. Tough luck. I'm a piece of shit." Like you know what? Trump actually fucking owns up to his shit. Like I've said something gross. I mean by it. Roosh says it's a thought piece. Why can't Roosh actually stand by his ridiculous hands?
Breaking up, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Breaking up, mate.
Okay, let me fix the bandwidth. Okay, I was just saying why, like when Donald Trump says ridiculous shit, he stands by it. Like not saying it's good, but why can't Roosh, if he idolizes Donald Trump, stand by the same fact that I said what I said? It's not a thought experiment. I blah 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 said this.
Exactly. Well, exactly. Well, the whole reason, and I'm not just doing this to pimp out my video, but if you go and watch the Descent of Manosphere episode 1 on Roosh, you will see a video in which he verbally defends that piece as if he's literally writing it saying, I believe that rape should be legalized. So why is he then later decided to say, oh, it's a thought experiment? Oh, because he caught some flack. That's why. He hasn't got the fucking balls to stand by what he said. Like you say, I don't like what Donald Trump says, but at least he has the fucking decency and the intellectual fucking balls to stand by what he says.
Ugh.
Roosh, you support Roosh. And I said, well, what's wrong with being Roosh? See? You know, that's what their response is. That's what their response is. Nobody knows anything anymore. They don't know.
Because of you morons flooding the internet with garbage.
Facts. They don't know anything about Mussolini.
I know more about Mussolini than you fucking would.
I would love to ask him, what does he know about Mussolini?
Exactly.
I would guess he doesn't know much.
Not much.
Mussolini and Hitler. Well, Mussolini wasn't Hitler.
They were fucking.
That is fucking groundbreaking historical stuff. Mussolini wasn't Hitler. Are you saying? Well, I remember seeing them in the same room. So he's right there.
No, like
he's banged on the fucking head.
Basically, in 1940, the Italian currency had both Hitler and Mussolini and Vitojo on it. So don't give me that fucking bullshit.
Oh no! Well, I was just mocking him for the fact that he was saying they're not the same person. Yeah, obviously, no one's saying they are.
Exactly.
But they're both cunts. That's the point.
Exactly.
Obviously, wouldn't want to live in a society that was run by Mussolini. But this is the war.
Well, the point. It's ridiculous. Like if he's saying, "Oh, they're not the same person." Well, yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't Hitler, but I wouldn't invite him round for dinner either. You prick. Like, come on. Fuck's sake.
If there's an element of history that they don't like, they don't cover it. They omit that history or they lie about it. Somebody who truly understands the life of the mind and wants to know truth, wants to know all the truth,
Get
whether
the fucking point.
It or not.
Well, exactly. What is his point here? That this Mussolini had some great redeeming qualities, did he?
Apparently, that's where he goes with it. That's what I'm estimating.
Because they start out again, questionable quote. There is nothing questionable about what he retweeted. It is better to live one day as a lion than 100 years as a sheep. Is that true? I guess the answer to that is it depends. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to just live for one day, so it's kind of hard to say. But I would rather be a lion.
Fucking cuck. You cuck piece of shit. You see how easy it is, guys? You see how easy it is to just pick up on something that someone says and call them a cuck? Oh, you're a conservative. You fucking pricks.
The right wing is eating each other alive more than the SJWs ever have.
Yeah, because but that's the problem. It's certainly in America that's true, because they've invited religious nutcases and alt-right party. And then what they're surprised that they invited nutters to the party, and the nutters are now flinging shit around. What a surprise.
Exactly.
That. And that quote really didn't even have to go to Mussolini. You could have gone, I've heard it said by Jack Strauss, who said it a little bit differently. It was Jack Treetop Strauss, who he did win the World Series of Poker once. And
I Googled that guy, and he is like off the hinges creationist conspiracy theorist.
We get that. Because he was about to leave and he had one chip left and he just kept winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. So that was his quote regarding his world, was that it was just better to be a lion for one day. Don't worry about the future.
I wonder where he got the quote from.
And so it's a very interesting quote. So they tried to jump him. I wouldn't even go on any of these shows. He went on Meet the Press. This should be Meet the Leftists, Meet the Statists, Meet the Totalitarians. That's what.
That's such stupidity.
Call that website or that show. But Chuck Todd said, that's a famous Mussolini quote. You retweeted it. I'd say, no, it's a Jack Strauss quote. And I'd start talking about.
Where did Jack Strauss get the quote?
Strauss, and be like, well, I don't know where we got it from. It doesn't
That's
matter.
the thing. It's a quote because the first person who said it. The quote. It's possible, as with a lot of quotes, like Einstein gets quoted as stuff all the time. But if it's generally accepted that Mussolini said it first, and it's the quote is attributed to him, I'd ideally don't use it. Or come up with. Like, there's a million ways you can reword that to make it your own.
Yeah.
Like, I get the concept that just because someone bad said it, it doesn't make it wrong. But ideally, you don't want to associate, especially when you're Donald Trump and you have a problem with neo-Nazi nonsense. I would suggest it's probably best not to be retweeting Mussolini.
Pretty much.
Did you like the quote? Did you know it was Mussolini? Chuck, it's okay to know it's Mussolini. Look, Mussolini was Mussolini. It's a very good quote. It's an interesting quote, and I know it.
Oh, my brain is fucking turning sideways right now from this. Like, this is the fucking statements he was saying right now. Have you ever like watched?
When you're seen as
Yeah, what?
don't quote people who are ludicrously aggressive and racist.
Have you ever like had that like, feeling on YouTube, like when you're watching a guy who's like really just like a right winger who says something just so insane and just makes your brain turn sideways? Like it makes your head hurt.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, yeah, mate. I do it all the time because I do. Obviously, my whole point of my videos is that I search out these pricks and expose them, right?
Yeah.
So I watch so much. I just become slightly immune to it now. It's just awful. Or actually, I sidetrack it, but one thing I've noticed is that I listen to them and hear them say something really appalling, and rather than being offended by it or upset about it, I now inside go, yes, okay, fucking brilliant, which is not a positive reaction. Oh god!
What difference does it make whether it's Mussolini or somebody else? It's certainly a very interesting quote. Well, Mussolini is a known fascist. Well, Rush is a known rape apologist. No, he isn't.
Yeah, they're both.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Bruce was a fascist. Bruce is a rape apologist. Of course he is.
Yeah.
No, he isn't. Stop lying. Mussolini is a known. What does that have to do with the quote? It doesn't matter who says it. Stalin could have said, I like coffee in the morning. It doesn't mean I don't like coffee in the morning.
That's such a fallacious non sequitur.
Yeah, because fucking hell, Stalin's love or otherwise of coffee had nothing to do with what he did as a leader. Mussolini of essentially kind of before the end of your natural life, based upon the fact that you don't want to be seen as weak, had a very important impact on the way he ruled.
Just how lazy these people's their intellects don't exist, and they're constantly running in fear. They're little R-selected rabbits, and that's all they do. They just run around in fear, and they make these.
R-selected theory has been debunked, and everyone who believes it is an alt-right scientist, like Gassad, whatever his name is, Gassad, whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. I agree with you said there, but I would put marks around the word scientist.
Little statements, and the men aren't men; they're mangina kitty cats, just like this Chuck Todd. But this is
that's so stupid.
going on in our society. You're not allowed to know anything. They don't know anything. Could be Janta's law. They're jealous that you know something. But you know, if you walk in, you see my books, and you conclude, well, you must be a communist. No, I'm the opposite of a communist. But you're a superficial, shallow little fool who can't think about anything, can't analyze, can't read.
You don't want to talk. Your videos are.
Is he looking into a mirror? It would make sense if he was looking into a mirror that he's saying this. That would be apropos then. But.
I know. The fucking projection of these people.
Right, can't do nothing. So you want society to come down to your level. We need to start making fun of people like this Chuck Todd. We need to declare.
I'm making fun of you for making fun of us, so I guess it's a two-way street, motherfucker.
And of course, verbal war, not any physical act, but make fun of the Washington compost, because this is just a state of.
I do like that. I have to say that is a quality put down. Nice.
Where nobody can reflect on anything. I thought the whole thing, when I saw it, I was really surprised. But you can check it out. But when this stuff comes up, I'm always on the lookout for it. But
I just remembered, this wasn't the first time he's retweeted a fascist. Remember a couple of months ago, he retweeted a known KKK white nationalist dude.
The same thing with Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is a guilty conscience in that stuff too, actually, and Sam Harris. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
This is how it functions in our country. It functions with all of us like this. You know, every day we experience this. I'll see you soon. I was about to leave, but I just couldn't let this one go. And Trump, Trump, Trump. How you like that? How you like that, leftist? That's what I got for you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see their reaction when inevitably, as will happen, right? Let's just assume a couple of months down the road, he gets the nomination, as seems mathematically almost certain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we'll pivot and move extremely fast to the centre ground.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see these alt-right fuckers go absolutely apeshit crazy when they realise they haven't elected their alt-right superstar. They've elected yet another fucking politician who's lied to them and played them like fucking idiots. I can't wait. They're going to lose their shit. And I'm going to masturbate furiously over it.
You know, Vernaculus has a video he just put out yesterday about that subject, the one that's segue into.
Okay.
It's quite good at
I haven't.
For Vernaculus' stuff. It's
Well,
quite,
yeah, but
sorry.
well, yeah, but that's like saying a dog shit was slightly less smelly. It's it's still a dog shit.
This is just an open letter to the media in general, because they're the main reason why people don't trust them anymore. Okay. You are dishonest shit stains. I mean, that's been true for I don't know how long. Before I was born, you still encompass that term.
I like how he has all the papers that are on my Murdoch on the screen, and he's supposedly a right-winger.
Yeah. Well, actually, well, no, to be fair, the Mirror isn't owned by Murdoch.
Oh, really? I thought it was. I mean, I know the right wing, though.
No, the Mirror is a vaguely sort of centre-left paper.
Really?
Yeah. And actually, the Daily Mail isn't owned by him either, but it's essentially the same thing. Yeah.
Letter, but when I was growing up, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Although coming full circle, ironically, the first thing I wanted to do was be a fiction author.
Have you ever noticed how fucking crudely designed the News of the World Today website is? Like, it's appalling. Like, just the way it's designed is really appalling.
The News of the World, do they still have a website? Because the paper doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, they have a website. It's only online now. It's like atrociously designed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
sucked at writing fiction, and so I bounced around a little until eventually I came to journalism. I do have a creative side after all, and an analytical side, so I thought that this profession would allow me to exercise both, especially if I ended up as an opinion journalist. But what I didn't realize was precisely how screwed up you have made everything. And I mean everything. Nobody believes anything you say, even if it's the truth.
That's not true, though. Loads of people believe what the media says.
I guess
obviously.
I guess it's just his right-wing echo chamber. That's what's going on.
Well, it's ridiculous because people, I mean, and it's not just, well, yeah, I agree with you on vernaculars, but the point I'm making in general about the public,
yeah,
they believe whatever, most of them believe whatever they're fucking told by the media.
Totally.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Times could put out a report saying the sun will come up tomorrow, and if someone just bashes the media for lying and then claims eternal night is forthcoming, people...
That's pretty fallacious. That's a pretty fallacious argument right there.
Leave it.
But you're having bandwidth issues again, mate.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Let me fix that. Here we go. Better?
Yep.
Good. Something, dark side.
Yes.
Bed here, and now you are lying in it. You've made my profession that much harder to partake in. Because no matter how much evidence I present, no matter how concise...
Your profession? What profession is he involved in?
In his video, he's saying how he's a professional DIY journalist.
What? Oh, God. Oh, God. Go on, just, oh, for fuck's sake.
Call it my argument. People will just dismiss me. Why? Because I'm one of you.
Because you're a prick. Because you're a fucking dickhead. That's why they dismiss you.
Oh, my God.
Sickens me. Oftentimes on my channel, I cite the job of a journalist being a teller of truth in the midst of people in positions of power who don't want that truth out there, or in the midst of a rowdy population who don't want to accept a truth.
I like the reason that and this comes from both the left and the right to a degree. When they say nowadays the media is X, Y, Z, do you think it's ever been different? Do you think there was ever a point when journalists weren't in bed with politicians in the way they are now?
There never was. It's a fallacy. It's a fallacy.
I don't think there was ever like a golden age.
Oh.
Meyer take on entire rooms of people who believe a lie and still hold to the truth, which they can back up with evidence. Yet the audience will have none of it. They resort to tired platitudes they heard in the media against said position with no evidence at all, and the room will cheer them for it.
Hang on a second. Didn't you just say people don't believe what was read in the media?
I know. That. Ugh.
You just pwned yourself, you fool.
Ugh.
And yet the journalist sat still, comforted in the fact that they are still correct, no matter how many people scream otherwise. Just like when someone stands in front of a crowd of screaming feminists as they say there's no evidence the wage gap is due to sexism, and who do those screaming harpies cite to shore up their claims? You. Because you don't know how to analyze studies. So you look at the abstract, make that the headline, and say, screw it, let's run with it.
Okay, like this video really lacks context of what the definition of media is.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, as with oh fuck's sake, I've totally forgotten what TJ at the beginning. You're adding layers of nuance that he's not capable of.
Yeah.
I've watched enough of his shit to know he's just a prick. As simplistic and, dare I say, childish as it seems, I can't be bothered even analysing this nonsense with him. I just want to he's just a prick.
I'm very selective on who I make replies to. I'm like...
Once you've spent so long doing that, they are allowing themselves to get fleeced by the first person who comes along and bashes you regularly. You could even go down the path of actually telling the truth and trying to get people to see the truth when you report it, but it's far too late for that. Now, you have cried racist, sexist, misogynist, war on women, rape for far too long. Now people just
By the way, I'd like to point out that 4 of the 5 papers on screen there basically hold your opinion on political correctness and all of that. So I don't know what we're talking about.
Said that earlier. Yeah, like it's like
if you ignore the Mirror for a second,
I know.
It's up there, then every single paper expresses the same shit that you're now saying, Vernaculus. So shut up.
Are supposedly opposed to authoritarianism snuggle up to the first authoritarian who makes them laugh out loud enough about how shitty you are. And you brought that on yourself. If you had been committed to the truth this entire time, people would actually care about what you have to say.
What do you mean by this entire time? You're not defining your parameters at all. So what do you mean this whole time? When is this is the whole point I love with conservatives, right? Or paleo conservatives, or fucking alt-right cunts, whatever. They all want to take you back to a certain time where they think things were great. Vernaculus, explain to me, when was the media so great? What point do you think we should go back to where the media was fucking brilliant?
Honestly, Vernaculus, if you really want to like delve deeper in this, go watch Coughlin's video talking about political correctness in comedy from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I thought that was quite well done, actually, yeah.
So they don't. You could show live video of Donald Trump murdering someone in the street. People will claim you doctored the footage. They'll claim that the blood's actually fake. People will claim that you dressed someone.
This is such a slippery slope right now. This is like fallacious slippery slope.
Look like Donald Trump just to take him down, etc., etc.
Kind of like how the right wing do Planned Parenthood. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, that sounds pretty much a similar thing, yeah.
All of that, while unreasonable, is understandable because I wouldn't put it past you. Want to know why no one gives a shit about all the evidence presented in the Fields case? You. Want to know why there are people giving Trump a back massage as he threatens Bernie's rallies right after he says his First Amendment rights were violated? You. Trump lies all the time. But Trump is the anti-media. That is why people like him.
Trump is anti-media. The guy fucking owned a reality show for how many God knows years.
Yeah, I love when they say he's anti-establishment. He's rubbed fucking shoulders with every rich cunt in the world. He is the establishment, you morons.
And that is why he has such a dedicated following. You could show Trump confessing to something, and people will try to spin it away themselves because they assume you spin it, and they think their spin is unspin.
Are you quoting 1984? Seems like you're quoting leftist literature.
Even when you're telling the truth. So thank you, media. You've cried wolf so many goddamn times for ratings that no one cares about you anymore. Well, guess what? The wolf is here. And you can run stories about how he's clawing up your children, how he's eating your family, and how he's rampaging through the countryside, and no one will bat an eyelid. This wolf could be eating their legs in front of them, and they will still assume you lied. You disappoint me, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves. You've caused people to hearing about the truth.
No, they've disappointed vernaculars. How will they sleep at night? Oh, get over yourself.
When that was supposed to be your job to begin with. And maybe I'm being naive when I think that is supposed to be the media's job, but ideally, that's what you should be doing, getting people to care about the truth.
Vernaculus, you hang around A Voice for Men. I wouldn't be talking about the truth of media, for instance.
Are you suggesting that The Voice for Men might not be entirely 100% accurate in its reporting of things?
Yes.
Because I would suggest you're a cuck. Cuck! See, it's really easy. It's really fucking easy.
Instead, you've gotten people to hate the truth, so long as it gives them an excuse to take you down just one more peg. You disgust me, both as an American and a human being. Best regards.
Well, that was 5 minutes utterly wasted of everyone's time. That was.
There's one video. It was made by some guy who works for InfoWars. InfoWars apparently took it down immediately, but it leaked.
Well, this is going to be fun.
It's really heinous. I didn't laugh at the fact it was disgustingly racist. I laughed at the fact that InfoWars thought they could get away with this shit.
Well, go for it. Oh, God.
Growing up, we all thought we was Mexicans.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ almighty.
This was on Alex Jones' channel for like an hour before it got deleted.
I'd just like to point out, just briefly, I know it's going to fuck up the bandwidth a little bit, but I'd just like briefly in.
Yeah.
If I can.
Mexico! Stop. I can't believe InfoWars thought this would be good to release this for like PR. Ugh.
Things. We mowed the lawn. We picked the fruit. We ate all that tamales and all that stuff. And then I went to Ancestor.com and I found out that I ain't a Mexican at all. I was really Chinese. So I throws away.
God.
That's so bad.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh.
God. I wonder which person InfoWars it is in the costume. Like, it's obviously not Alex Jones.
I don't know, but this is... oh, God, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
I know, exactly.
And I got a Chinese hat, and I got my chopsticks, and I got rid of that lawn mower. And now I spends all my time putting fingernail polish on women's nails and putting them also on them stinky feet. So.
That's so bad.
On them stinky feet. Oh, God.
So horrible. Why would InfoWars think this is good to publish?
I don't know. At what point? Because that must have taken quite a while to put all that costume together. Someone surely went, "This is fucking mental. This is ridiculous. Why are we putting this shit out? What the? Oh God! Come on. This is.
.com. Ancestor.com and find out what you is.
Ancestor.com, where you learn who to have incest with and not make weird kids.
Oh no!
Oh my god, that was so horrible. That was horrendous.
Oh my fucking hell! They even went ching chonged. Oh
God.
so.
So bad.
Oh,
so bad.
That is. That is disgusting. I genuinely, I don't even know what to say about that. I might have to go and take a shower now.
I feel the same way. You know what the problem? You know what I really want to think about? I've been really questioning a lot lately.
What's that?
Why is the freedom of speech thing such a big issue now in 2015 when YouTube was just as insane as it was back in the day with Venom Thing X, Nephilim Free, and those fucking idiot creationists?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. That's a good question. Why is it? Why? I presume because actually it's gotten so big now, the problem of like harassment or whatever. I don't know.
You know, exactly. But like back in the day, like 2012, 2011, 2008, because I've been on YouTube since like day one of like the atheist debate community. I haven't been making videos. I started making videos 3 years ago, but really getting involved in it like about 2 years ago. But this is always a problem. So why is it such an issue now? Freedom of speech, blah 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 shit.
I don't know. I can't even really give you an answer there, to be honest.
No, I'm pondering it. And if you have any theory, put it in the comments because I'm like, we've been on for 2 hours, and I think this is a good place to end it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.